The GMT Master II Pepsi is the most popular GMT Master II in the world. It's the hardest steel version to get at an authorized dealer, and it's been like that for a long time. That isn't news, but I've been given information about the production numbers of the Pepsi, how they relate to the other colors within the catalog, and I'm going to share my thoughts with you today. Share that information in this video, and I'll rank how hard each color is to come by at an authorized dealer. Thanks to Artem Straps out of Adelaide, Australia for sponsoring today's video. Artem makes the best sailcloth and premium FKM rubber in the business. Definitely check them out. It's a great way to support my channel while also getting a killer strap for your favorite sports piece. Links below. Now, let's talk about this news. I've been told by sources that have always turned out to be correct that Rolex is slowly and quietly ramping down production of the Pepsi version of the GMT Master II. And this is going to make what's already a hard model to come by even more difficult to buy brand new at an authorized dealer. This will also likely bump up the inflated secondary market pricing as the scarcity becomes more pronounced. And to me, this just underscores the thought that Rolex secretly loves the massive hype that surrounds some of their models. I think about the Panda Daytona. That is the most in-demand steel sports Rolex. It commands ridiculous aftermarket premiums, and it's only available at retail to the most important clients at any authorized dealer. It appears that Rolex wants to make the Pepsi more in line with the Panda Daytona, only available at retail to the most important clients at any authorized dealer. I know a lot of watch collectors are massively disappointed by the strategic scarcity of some of these models, including the Daytona and including this Pepsi. Many view this scarcity as gamesmanship, and they turn to other luxury brands. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that have given up on Rolex and gone to brands like Omega, who, apart from a few select models, have wide availability throughout their authorized distributorship. Now, how do I know this? It's by talking to people close to the situation in multiple US states. I've heard in some areas authorized dealers get less than a dozen steel Pepsis in any given year, and that number is getting a little bit smaller year to year. And it's not isolated. This has been confirmed in multiple states. So that tells me that the Pepsi allocation is getting a little bit tighter, and that can only be by design by Rolex. And you consider the lists of names of people that want to buy the GMT Master II, who want to buy the Pepsi. It's hundreds of names long at any authorized dealer. And if that authorized dealer is only getting maybe at best one per month or one every couple months, there are going to be a lot of clients that will be disappointed. That never will be offered the Pepsi. Even large spending clients that have big purchase histories, they're waiting for this model. Now, I'm not a big spender compared to many watch collectors. I've bought 8 watches at my authorized dealer over the past decade. I've spent about $100,000, and I asked my AD about the chances of getting a Pepsi and was very politely told that it was not realistic. So this model, believe it or not, it's getting harder and harder to buy brand new. And here's the thing, it's not just collector demand. It's not just the history of the model. All of that is part of it. The big driving reason is because Rolex has chosen to make the model rare. Rolex makes, a professional estimation just over 1 million watches every year. They have plans to expand that production, and they're not adjusting that production to make less watches that sit in cases so that they can make more Pepsis and Pandas that don't sit in cases. No, this is strategic scarcity. It's something that appears they very much like and want to perpetuate. Now, collectors that have gotten offered a Pepsi at an authorized dealer, they're likely going to enjoy this news. Ones who have been patiently waiting for one will likely be even more unhappy about this created situation. I imagine most of you watching this video, you feel negatively toward Rolex for doing this. Many of you are absolutely fed up with this brand. You're going to different luxury brands, and I understand that. But just playing the other side briefly, if the Pepsi suddenly became widely available, let's say Rolex decided to make more of them so that anyone on a wait list could go into their authorized dealer tomorrow and buy one with no purchase history, no gamesmanship, who would do it? Most of the people on these lists, they want this watch because it's hard to get. If it's suddenly very easy to obtain, the specialness of the product kind of goes away in the minds of many. So hate it or not, Rolex is playing into this gotta have it product mentality, and I just don't see that changing. Now, let's say you genuinely love the GMT Master II, you want to buy one. Let me share with you that list of how hard each of the steel colors are to get. I'm not touching on two-tone. I'm not talking about precious metal. I'm not talking about off-catalog or rare dial variations. This is just the basic stainless steel GMT Master II. Coming in at number 1, by far the most scarce, the hardest to get. You have to be an ultra-loved customer at your authorized dealer to even get a small chance of being offered one, is the Pepsi. Consider this a unicorn. Number 2 is the Batgirl. This one is still rare, but most authorized dealers get almost double this color when compared to the Pepsi. So yes, it's still hard to get for sure, and you do need a decent spend history to realistically be allocated one. But the likelihood that you get offered one of these is a lot higher than the Pepsi. This watch is for trusted clients of authorized dealers that have spent a good amount of money in the store. Now, coming in at number 3 is the Sprite. This one is far more common than the Batgirl. It's a lot easier to get. It was rare when it first came out, but since that time, production numbers have climbed, and I could see this watch being offered to customers that have bought a couple watches at their AD without too much waiting, and perhaps that has something to do with the fact that it's a left-hand drive. But again, easier to get than the Batgirl and far easier to get than a Pepsi. Coming in at number 4 is the Bruce Wayne. This is easily, by far, the most common color, more so than the Sprite, far more than the Batgirl, and of course far more than the Pepsi. Most authorized dealers don't have too hard of a time getting this watch in regularly. Granted, it's still a steel GMT Master II. It's a new release, so a lot of people are asking for this watch, but at the same time, Rolex makes far more of these. So it's the most attainable color. If you don't have a purchase history or you have a small purchase history, this one is the most realistic ask. Now, what about a potential Coke? Are there plans to make a GMT Master II in the Coke colorway? Well, I don't know. I hope they do it. If they do it, Rolex, in the past, they have generally done an off-catalog model that had a take on the color, and then they come out with it in precious metal, and then it comes out in stainless steel. So if Rolex ever brings back the Coke, it's likely a few years away in stainless steel. In my own opinion, it's not going to be easy to obtain. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching today. Check out Artem Straps, and I'll see you next time.